You work harder than others, and you're more sincere. But everyone around you is thriving while you're stuck. Therefore, Ibn Arabi revealed the hidden qadr you're violating. The moment I understood this, my world fractured. I had spent years white-knuckling my goals, praying with desperation, believing my sincerity must be rewarded. I watched others, less dedicated, less focused, effortlessly receive what I bled for. It felt like a cosmic injustice, a divine punishment I couldn't comprehend. Then I found the warning from the greatest master, Ibn Arabi. He said provision isn't about effort. It's about a hidden decree, an unseen law that governs the flow of rizq. By the end of this, you will know the three hidden barriers between you and your destiny, the veils that keep you in a prison of trying harder. But the third one will shock you, because it's the one you mistake for a virtue. Ibn Arabi teaches that Qadr, or divine decree, has two faces. The first is the one we all see, the world of cause and effect. You work, so you earn. You plant, so you harvest. This is the outer law, the world of limbs and labor. But most people live and die only ever seeing this one face, and this blindness becomes their spiritual prison. They exhaust themselves in the world of means, unaware that there is a second face of Qadr. Therefore, they never access the source from which all rizq flows. This second face is the hidden decree, the Sir al-Qadr, the secret of destiny. This is the unseen current that carries provision to some, while leaving others stranded in the desert of their own effort. This isn't about what you do, it's about what you reflect. But to reflect the divine generosity, you must first remove the barriers that block its light. Therefore, we must uncover the veils Ibn Arabi warned about, the unseen spiritual laws you are breaking every single day. Picture this. Ibn Arabi is sitting by the great mosque of Damascus. The air is thick with the scent of jasmine and roasted nuts. He's observing the relentless motion of life, merchants haggling, children laughing, guards marching. He's watching a beggar enter the square. The man's hands are calloused, his robes tattered. Yet, people flock to him. One gives a coin, another a piece of bread, a third a word of kindness. The beggar's bowl fills with ease. Then a nobleman passes. His clothes are silk, his posture proud, but his face is etched with a deep, unspoken anxiety. He is a man of immense effort, of sleepless nights managing his trade. Ibn Arabi whispers to himself, "Why does the beggar receive with open hands, while the nobleman strives with a clenched heart and still feels impoverished?" His pen hovers over the page. 3 times he starts to write, then stops. This is the moment the veil begins to lift for him. He realizes that rizq is not a reward for labor. It is a divine flow attracted by a certain state of being. The nobleman is trapped in the illusion of deserving, and therefore his striving becomes his veil. The first and most painful illusion is that your hard work entitles you to a specific outcome. You think, because I sacrificed, I deserve success. Because I prayed, I deserve an answer. But Ibn Arabi teaches that effort is merely the vessel, not the substance. You can have the most beautiful cup in the world, but if you hold it under a blocked stream, it will remain empty. The world is full of sincere, hard-working people with empty cups. Their sincerity is real, their effort is real, but the stream is blocked. This brings us to the first sign, the first barrier you are unknowingly carrying. The first sign Ibn Arabi warned about is a subtle form of envy. not against people, but against the divine decree itself. When you see someone else thrive, someone you feel is less deserving, less pious, or less hardworking than you, and a painful knot forms in your chest, that is the sign. You ask, why them and not me? That question in that moment is not a sincere inquiry. It is an accusation against divine wisdom. It is a form of spiritual envy that says, I know better than the distributor of Rizq. This state of inner protest, this feeling of injustice, is a thick veil. It fills your heart with rust, and a rusty heart cannot receive divine light. It blocks the flow because your inner state is in opposition to the distributor, Al-Razzaq. You cannot receive from the one you are questioning.
Ibn Arabi's core teaching on the hidden Qadr is this: your provision was decreed for you before you were created. The angel is commanded to write your provision, your lifespan, and your deeds. Your rizq is not something you chase and capture. It is a trust that is delivered to you at its appointed time. It will not miss you. It cannot be taken by another. It knows your name and your address. The frantic chase, the desperate striving, the fear of missing out, these do not create your rizq. They only exhaust your soul and signal to the universe a profound lack of trust. And this leads directly to the second barrier. The second sign, and this one is subtle, is when you begin to worship the means of your provision instead of the source of all provision. Your job is not your provider. Allah is the provider who has given you a job. Your intellect is not your provider. Allah is the provider who has gifted you with intellect. Your business strategy is not your provider. Allah is the provider who inspired the strategy. The moment you place your ultimate trust in the means, your heart shifts its reliance from the eternal to the temporary. You start fearing losing the job more than you fear displeasing the one who provided it. You panic when the market shifts because your faith was in the market, not in Al-Razzaq. When the heart mistakes the delivery truck for the sender of the package, it lives in constant anxiety. What if the truck breaks down? What if it gets lost? This anxiety constricts the heart, and a constricted heart cannot receive. And now we come to the third barrier, the one I warned you about, the one that will shock you because it hides behind the mask of piety. Remember the story loop I opened? Here it is. The third sign is when your acts of worship become a subtle transaction to manipulate the divine decree. You pray not out of love for the divine, but to secure a promotion. You give charity not out of generosity, but as an investment for a quick return. Your obedience is conditional. You are secretly saying, I have done my part, now you must do yours. This turns worship, the highest form of connection, into the lowest form of cosmic bargaining. It is a profound misunderstanding of your station. You are not a business partner with God. You are a servant. This barrier is the most dangerous because it feels righteous. The ego loves it. It allows you to feel pious while remaining in complete control. But the heart knows. It feels the emptiness of a prayer that is a demand in disguise. This hidden arrogance, this attempt to control the outcome through acts of devotion, creates the thickest veil of all, because you are using the very tools of connection as instruments of separation. The reason Ibn Arabi revealed this is because the path to thriving isn't about doing more, it's about becoming more. It is a journey of purification, of removing the veils that you yourself have placed over your heart. The transformation begins with a shift.
Instead of asking, why them and not me? Ask, what state of being am I in that is blocking what is already mine? Instead of trusting your job, trust the one who provided the job. Feel the difference in your heart, the release, the peace. And when you pray, release the outcome. Pray out of love, out of longing, out of recognition of your own poverty and His infinite wealth. Let your worship be a declaration of trust, not a negotiation. The moment you do this, you align with the hidden face of Qadr. You stop fighting the current and you allow it to carry you. Rizq is not something you earn, it is something you unveil. Ibn Arabi said, "You are not blocked from your rizq is blocked from you, by the version of yourself you refuse to leave behind." Tonight, ask yourself, which barrier am I carrying? Am I the envious questioner, the worshipper of means, the spiritual negotiator? And am I ready to see what's waiting on the other side?